Hello to all the current and future leaders in the room. Let's look inside one of the most successful leadership playbooks, not just in sports, but in any team setting. Coach Mike Krzyzewski, also known as Coach K, did not just lead Duke basketball to national championships. He built a legacy of trust, communication, and emotional connection that any organization can learn from. Coach K is best known for his exceptional leadership skills, his unwavering determination, and his dedication to his team. As the Duke basketball coach for 47 seasons, Coach K won the hearts of millions by displaying true leadership qualities, instilling the importance of teamwork in his players, and leading his team to over 1,200 victories. Coach K received 12 different Coach of the Year awards during his reign at Duke. Leadership and communication are two of the top drivers of success in any organization, according to Forbes. In Leading with the Heart, Coach K shows how value based leadership transforms not just teams, but entire cultures. Anyone interested in becoming a leader and developing powerful team building skills should take a few minutes to learn why this book is a must read.
My name is Kyler Drake, alongside with the wonderful Amber Miles, who has been great on this project with me. And we have been diving into Coach K's strategies and comparing them to key organizational communication concepts. As sports fans, we were easily drawn to Coach K's blend of heart, discipline, and strategy. Coach K is notorious in the sports world for being a passionate and very resilient leader. Our goal in this presentation is to explore how Coach K's approach to leadership builds strong teams, improves communication, and drives performance. We will discuss the successful advice of Coach K and the strategies that he has followed throughout his career. We will also demonstrate how to apply culture, the ability to pivot, and effective communication to the organizational communication textbook by Dennis K. Mumby and Timothy R. Kahn, and then provide recommendations for individuals and organizations to consider when working together to drive success.
That's right. Leading with the Heart showcases the leadership principles and strategies that Coach K uses in basketball, business, and in life. His principles are founded on trust, communication, and emotional connection. Coach K leads by forming authentic relationships rooted in both trust and respect. He understands that genuine leadership isn't just about giving orders, it's about knowing your people and empowering them to succeed. Trust first. Coach K always starts with trust. He believes it must be mutual and earned. You have to earn trust by giving it, says Coach K. He builds trust by treating players as people first, athletes second. Forming strong relationships with players while also fostering trust encourages confidence and success. Members must feel valued and heard to perform at their full potential. In two-way communication, communication is not optional, it's expected. Coach K promotes open dialogue, listens actively, and creates space for everyone's voice to be heard. Open and honest communication is not only necessary, but it's also expected in any team that has success as its primary goal. Communication also enables leaders to understand their members and help them grow. Adaptability matters. Coach K's leadership is not one size fits all. He adapts to each team's unique needs. Sometimes the way you think a situation will go is not how it turns out. You must have the trust and cohesion within your team to pivot and refocus without disrupting momentum. Balance of heart and discipline. Coach K blends emotional intelligence with structure, guiding with empathy, but never losing focus on performance and values. Coach K understands the importance of empathy and being a leader who truly cares about his members. Having this mindset creates a team mindset that encourages inclusion. Leadership style. Coach K's leadership style blends democratic and coaching approaches. He empowers his team while also developing them individually. Democratic leadership encourages team input and collaboration. Coaching style leadership focuses on developing team members' skills and abilities. Leadership success is often perceived in many ways, but most everyone can agree that Coach K is a profound leader both on and off the court. The result of his strategy, loyalty, long term bonds, and high level performance.
Now, Many of Coach K's strategies do align with the concepts in organizational communication by Mumby and Kahn. Organizational trust, according to Coach K, one of the keys to success is building your own team on trust and unity. Without trust, a team is just a collection of individuals. But with trust, those handful of people become a family, complete with communication, caring, pride, and collective responsibility. Being a part of a family makes individuals a part of something bigger. Coach K believes that in most aspects of leadership that they are tied back to relationship and trust. Coach K did say, trust is perhaps the most critical aspect of any relationship. In any organization, must be developed with every member to achieve success. Fellas, I am the truth, Coach K says to every team. At any time, I can and will tell you where you stand and how you're doing. I I will tell you what you're doing right, and I'll tell you what you're screwing up. And that can be found on page 75 in the book. Using this as a foundational block helps to create trust within the team, and trust within the team equates to success. Now, how does this correlate with the textbook? So, our textbook says under post-Fordism, work is categorized by a high level of trust between workers and managers. And workers are given significant autonomy in decision making, and that can be found on page 166. This model often promotes worker autonomy and responsibility, which leads to a shift in power. This can foster trust within teams and between members. Adaptive leadership, his ability to pivot during changing circumstances, kind of mirrors the systems theory in our textbook. Change isn't the exception, it's the norm. And Coach K treats flexibility as essential to leadership. Sometimes the way you think the situation will go is not how it turns out. You must have the trust and cohesion within your team to pivot and refocus without disrupting momentum. Coach K also said adjustments are not unusual, they are usual. So, leader's ability to think on his feet, to react accordingly, to do things without instruction, and to react to voices on the court while also thinking outside of himself is of paramount importance. And you can find that on page 121. Just like basketball, business is a game of constant adjustments. What worked last time may not be the best answer this time, and the true leader will recognize and pivot accordingly. Our textbook says the new science of systems theory, Salem 2017, throws this approach out the window. Chaos, complexity, and disorder rule the day, rather than seeing change as a background condition that organizations must deal with when it arises. Change is approached as defining necessary feature of organizational life, and that can be found on page 102. This theory often explores how systems can self-organize and adapt to change. Message design logic. Communication is not just verbal, it's emotional, physical, and strategic. Like rhetorical message design, Coach K crafts messages and resonates on a personal level, using stories, body language, and tone to lead effectively. As a leader, your team sees your facial expression before you even utter a word. Make sure you are displaying the face that they need to see. Need, that's the key word. They need to see what it is that you're feeling. Coach K says Billy King, a great Duke basketball player and National Defensive Player of the Year in 1988, had enormous status even though he wasn't the best field goal or free throw shooter on the team. However, he was an excellent defender. He really understood the game, and he was one of the best communicators I ever had the privilege of coaching. Billy King was equal or better than anyone else on this team status wise, because in our system, communication is just as important as technical ability, and that is on page 74. Our textbook says communication is a dynamic, ongoing process of creating and negotiating meanings through interactional, symbolic, verbal, and nonverbal practices, including conversation, metaphors, rituals, stories, dress, and space. And that can be found on page 11. These concepts show that Coach K is more than just a basketball coach. He's a case study in the modern leadership theory.
That's right, Kyler. Coach K's principles offer clear takeaways for leaders in any field. Here's some practical takeaways to apply. To apply Coach K's strategy on building a strong team and fostering trust, you must be willing to put in work in the beginning to establish roots and build a solid foundation. Start with one on one conversations. Take the time to get to know your team genuinely. When people feel seen and heard, They're more committed and take greater accountability. Forming relationships takes time and energy. Building a team of strong and able members takes dedication and effort from the leader. Creating an environment of trust is a deliberate and conscious effort that must be made every single day. Takeaway number two, we'd like to present: listen like a leader. Train leaders in emotional intelligence and active listening. Coach K's players felt understood because he took time to learn their stories. This builds deeper loyalty and motivation. A good leader will not only be honest with their members, but will do so as soon as possible. Then you've got to stay flexible. Use regular feedback to adjust your communication style. Just as Coach K adjusts his coaching approach from season to season, organizations must adapt their messaging to meet the evolving needs of their teams. Leaders must ensure that they convey clear, concise, and consistent messaging to all team members to protect the integrity of communication. These recommendations can be applied to sports teams, business organizations, and your everyday life. Being a leader requires a commitment to learning, growing, stretching, and adapting that's not always easy to achieve. A true leader never stops learning and growing, always seeking new ways to improve. Although changing behavior is challenging, implementing these recommendations is necessary to advance from a good team to a great one. When a leader chooses to improve himself, the entire team benefits from the changes. It's not an easy task, and it takes a lot of time and dedication, but the benefits outweigh any hardship along the way.
Once again, we just want to say thank you for watching our video. Coach K's Leading with the Heart isn't just a book about basketball. It is simply a blueprint for leading people with integrity, empathy, and purpose. His success came not just from strategy, but from relationships built on trust, open communication, and genuinely just caring for his players. As we've seen, these principles apply far beyond the court. Whether you're managing a business team, working in healthcare, leading a nonprofit, or collaborating in the classroom, Coach K's leadership model proves that when you lead with heart, you don't just win, you build something that lasts forever. Outstanding leadership isn't about power, it's about people. And as future leaders, the most important thing that we can take away from this is listen deeply, lead authentically, and never underestimate the power of trust. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.